Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your daily dose, your spiritual vitamin, with me, Bonnie B. Now, on this glorious morning, I was awakened, but I started off not feeling so good. But I'm doing better now, much better, and come to realize a few things. One, since I've had a birthday, which was blessed, and I come to realization of a few things. One is that I'm rich in generational wealth through the seed, through the accomplishments that we have imparted, through the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we've given our children. There's wealth there. And it's displayed through appreciation and true emotion. For it far exceeds anything else. It's generational wealth. I also learned that it's time to move forward in your manifestations and realizing the things that your soul desires, that sometimes you have to sacrifice in order to reach dreams. Not that the sacrifice is supposed to be one that holds you back, but the sacrifice is one that should cause you to focus your energies and move in a direction that will bring a positive and effective change. I've learned that in valuing one's self and holding oneself in high regard, that you must maintain your balance. And although people may not understand or accept your decisions that you have made, you have to trust God to know that if it's something that He has ordained, He will bring it back. So I trust these things, for I understand that in order for me personally to reach my goals, and sometimes you may have to walk alone. So, not something I'm happy about, but I know that in God's divine plan, that when He's ready for you to receive something, He will make sure it's right. Because God is longevity. So why would He bring you something that's not ready for you too soon? Understand? So sometimes time is necessary to heal wounds, to create growth, and to help you to get back in touch with self. Because in each one of us we have hidden aspects of who we are. And then trying to deal with those hidden aspects of who we are, we have a tendency to project our emotions and our feelings onto other people. So when we have these insecurities and we have these lack of understanding moments in our lives, if we're not careful, we can project them onto other people. For you see, energy is fluid. And if you're under the influence of individuals who are of low vibration, then You can be influenced by low vibrational energies. When you're around people who are of a higher vibration, then the same result can happen. Your vibration and energy will raise. And it will raise because of perspectives and changes in mindset. When you learn how to fight the ego that is yourself and put him under subjection instead of just allowing him to run amok, for ego has its place, but it is not the only place. These are mental consciousness and understandings about oneself. And when you don't really understand who you are, then these images that are used as defense mechanisms in which to protect yourself can turn into devices that really hurt you. Because we must maintain our balance. And if we fail to maintain our balance, be it from one pole to the next, meaning one extreme to the next, when you're out of balance, life is out of balance. Your flow is out of balance. But in order to come into balance, you got to heal the other aspects of who we are as individuals. Because we have aspects of ourselves that have been hurt, that have not been healed. We have aspects of ourselves that are hiding, that are afraid to come out. We have aspects of ourselves that, as we were growing up, others projected onto us and gave us limited mindsets that we later began to adapt because these were people that we looked up to, which in fact took away from the individuality of the person that you are and created, in some cases, group mindsets, needing to be applauded. It's adult peer pressure. When we hear the term peer pressure, most often we think of our high school kids and we say, I'm not under peer pressure anymore, but in fact you are. You're under peer pressure when you try to get people who are around you to accept you and be on your bandwagon and your cheerleading squads and all of these type of things to egg you on and behaviors that you feel are appropriate. Sometimes we have to have self-examination to really look at why we behave the way that we behave and what has created this in us. Some of us we behave this way because of childhood wounds. Things that were done to us as children, ways that we were treated as children. Like the person who becomes an authoritative figure because they were bullied as a child, or the bitter woman who was abused so often that she changed her sexuality, or the person who's trying to escape and turns into an alcoholic or a drug addict because they don't have the tools that are necessary or equipped in the manner in which to deal with the everyday life, and these things are used to soothe. These are all mechanisms of escapism that we often use in order to cope with the realities of our situations. I guess because so often we find ourselves in situations and circumstances and we don't really even know how we got there. But in this life that we live, that's why it's important to acknowledge and understand the fact that there is a greater source than you, because we don't understand everything that goes on. And quite often, my daughter's told me, she says, when the bottom falls out or when it rains, it pours. But what you need to understand is that God will allow these trials, tests, and tribulations to come upon you because He knows you can pass this test. He already knows that you are equipped for the job. And He only has you in this situation for you to succeed. God always wants your highest good. Always. And although the life of the righteous, the elect, the saved individuals who are trying to walk in Satan's world and hold your head above water without being entreated to sit with enemies and partake in fruits and labors that mean you no good, that are selfish acts instead of selfless acts. And it's very easy to become swayed and pulled into situations. It's very easy to sit up and backbite for when you learn that group mentalities are a group form of bullying. And that is to take an individual whom has done nothing to you other than try to move forward. That's what they did. Because it's the crab barrel syndrome. It's the fact that in the bottom of the basket of crabs, everyone is happy down there. That's the lower vibrational energy. They're all happy. They're climbing over each other. And no one is getting to the top because they're all climbing over each other in the bottom of the barrel. But the minute that one crab figures out how to get up towards the top of the barrel, the other crabs in the barrel will reach down and pull that crab down into the barrel. And this is much like different people and different cultures in many situations. I always compare it to the black culture because I am black. And I have seen this behavior in our culture. I have seen where black businesses and black people and black situations are trying to excel and move forward. And instead of reaching up and helping each other, we tend to, at times, get caught up in the Joneses. And that's mainly because of a lack mentality and an envious eye. When you fail to understand that within oneself is the ability to excel, when you have never been taught that in you are all the tools that are necessary in order for you to excel, and that once you begin to change your mindset and begin to lay out a plan for dreams, ambitions, goals, lay out practical plans of reaching these, using your stones of knowledge as stepping stones to where you want to go and what you want to achieve, instead of looking at how someone else is doing something and figure out the creativity that lies deep within oneself. See, in each man, God has placed that measure to succeed. And when you understand that it is not the circumstances that you have gone through that dictate who you are, because they don't have to. Things only have power over you in your life when you give them power. When you change how you look at people, and you change how you look at your set of circumstances and look for the silver lining that is always in the midst, but sometimes it can be hidden. When we look at things at face value and not understand the bigger picture, the fact that someone whom may have had your heart and that you may have been in love with may have had to walk away from you in order for you to grow and heal, in order for you to learn to look at yourself and decide what it is that you truly want of yourself, and not to hurt you. When you understand that people who really love you want the best for you, and they don't want to hurt you. They want you to grow. They want you to heal. They want you to be prosperous. When you look at the intent of man's heart and not always judge situations based on the negative situations in which you have been accustomed to dealing with, when you understand that everyone does not mean you harm, that there are people out here, not a lot, but there are some, who are genuine, you know? I don't know. These are just thoughts that I sit and look at the moon and I ponder. And I pray that the vast majority under the sound of my voice takes time in their life to retrospect and look at everything from an unprejudiced viewpoint and be neutral in trying to understand both sides of the coin. Understand that sometimes we all have been through different things, and because we've been through different things, we react differently. There can be people who may have been abused as children growing up and were taught that you're not allowed to show your feelings. If you want, this particular type of woman in your life, you gotta abuse them and mistreat them and talk to them bad and make them earn your respect. Things like this. These are twisted mindsets. These are not God-fearing mindsets. The fact that someone has to earn your attention before you can even validate the fact that they really care about you, that they need to, jump through a hoop or prove that they're worthy. I don't understand that. Because I feel that we are all worthy of forgiveness, and we are all worthy of love. I don't think that love is an emotion that should be held back because of someone's behavior. I don't think that a way to teach a person a lesson is to take love away and punish them. These are views and things that I don't understand, I guess because I believe that love is an unconditional emotion. I believe that love is something that we're all entitled to. Even our pets. I believe that the love of a child is the most purest form of love for its innocence. And I believe that love between mankind is one of patience and endurance and forgiveness. It's hard for me to understand mankind. I'm trying. I really am. Because I know I don't belong here. So I'm trying to get my lessons. And I know that one of my major lessons is unconditional love. I know that sometimes it's hard. but I know it's always worth it. Well, on the Bonnie B today, we need to take time out, meditate, pray, and ground. We need to slow our energy down and breathe and enjoy the gifts of God. So on this day, take a minute to breathe. Be blessed, my beloved.